Roxo Media House.
Hey Frog fans, welcome inside the Flying T Club studio here at Roxo Media House. I'm Daija Turner.
And I'm Knisha Godfrey.
The excitement continues with our women's basketball program. The Showmire will be packed again next season, and thank you all for all your support.
In today's show, we'll be covering TCU baseball, men's and women's tennis, and both of our basketball programs with the new additions that are generating buzz in the college basketball world today.
Additionally, beach volleyball starts postseason, men's golf at the Big 12 Championships, and equestrian highlighting 4 athletes who have received special recognition.
But it won't stop there. We will bring you the latest on track and field heading to the Penn Relays, Frogapalooza, the upcoming spring football game, and a sneak peek at our new teammates who have promised to bring the heat for this season.
Last but not least, the NFL draft started yesterday and continues into the weekend. So much to cover, but first, a quick word from one of our sponsors. All the TCU sports updates coming your way. So stay tuned.
We're lucky to have a collective that's as strong and as powerful as the Flying T Club. It's a big deal for us. It is a game changer. You know, I would just encourage any fans out there to support it. Everyone asks me, what's the biggest priority? And I say, NIL is big. Please jump on board, show these student athletes how much they mean to you. The thing about NIL is I think there's a right and a wrong way to do it, and the Flying T Club's do it the right way. Let's keep winning. Join the Flying T Club today.
Welcome back, Frog Nation, from the Flying T Club studio here at Roxo Media House. I'm your host, Daija Turner. On Tuesday night, TCU baseball kicked off their 4-game home stretch with a significant win against Dallas Baptist. With 5 innings of no-hit baseball and a strong 3-0 start, that's all the Frogs needed to get the win, 5-2. While it wasn't a Big 12 showdown, the Horned Frogs improved their record to 24-15. TCU took the season series against the Patriots dating back to March 12th. When they beat them on the road 9-6. Head coach Kirk Saarloos talked about the win on Tuesday night. It was a big one to say the least.
Good is good enough. You know, I think sometimes, you just, human nature, 18 and 21-year-old kids trying their tails off and, sometimes trying to do too much and trying too hard and gripping the bat too hard and, gripping the ball too hard and sometimes having an understanding that, their good is good enough. We brought up Jamal Murray last night with the Denver, what's the basketball team in Denver? There we go, the Nuggets against my Lakers. And, I think he had missed 12 shots in a row. And he was talking to his teammates about, maybe looking to get them involved instead of him shooting. And every single one of them just said, just keep shooting. And so that's kind of the same thing when you're going through something that's difficult is, a lot of times it's what your teammates are telling you because sometimes internally you're not telling yourself the right things. And so we just talked about how they just said to Jamal, keep shooting, keep shooting, keep shooting. I think he had 14 of his 20 in the fourth quarter and shot the buzzer beater to win. And I don't think he probably ends up doing that if it wasn't for what his teammates were telling him in a tough stretch. I think he was 12 for 40 shooting in the first 2 games. And so but he was ready for it. Competitive greatness is exactly what that is when the game comes calling, are you ready for it? And, I thought there was some of that tonight. And, baseball, when you're not playing extremely well and not getting rewarded for it, it seems like the end of the world. And it's still a game, and it teaches us a lot. And, it's not going to be the hardest thing that these guys go through. And they can draw in times like this and figuring out, how did I get through this and how did I get to the other side? And whether that's now or whether that's in 15 years when you're, 35, 36 years old and you come against something that's really difficult, you can maybe draw upon, some of the things that we're going through right now. And that's the main thing is they show up every single day ready to work. And I think they just need to know that good is good enough.
Catcher Carson Bowen talked with the media after the game in the clubhouse and where the team's mindset is, including an interesting perspective on his personal mindset at the plate.
But I saw something the other day where it said every time you hit a ball hard, you deposit into the bank, and then when you don't hit a ball hard and you get a hit, you withdraw from the bank. So I feel like I've kind of just started to keep that mindset, and when I hit one hard, I line out. I'm like, all right, just deposited. And then tonight got rewarded for 2 balls that I didn't hit as hard as I could. So I think it's baseball. It's really just baseball. Yeah, it's been rough, but I think we we have a lot of quotes that we've been looking at, and just a lot of like motivational videos of like people that went through tough stretches. I know Charles was talking about it, about Jamal Murray, how he wasn't shooting well, and then his teammates told him just to keep shooting and shooting. And I think we got to keep doing that too. It's not like sometimes they're not falling, and tonight they fell for us in big spots. But I think we've talked about, like, we have done the right things off the field. We're doing the right things on the field. We're just not getting the results, but they're going to come. It's baseball. And this is a little off piece, but I was talking to Cole Fontenelle yesterday, and we asked him what changed last year, and he just said that everyone got hot at the same time. And I think it's as easy as that. I mean, we didn't change anything. We just kept doing the right things over and over every day, putting in the work, and then it just clicks. It's baseball. The best team doesn't always win. It's the team who plays the best. So
Last week's series saw the Frogs shut out the Longhorns in Game 1 5-0, which was their third shutout of the season. They dropped the next 2 games of the series despite putting up a ton of zeros in the majority of the innings. Frogball USA has allowed runs in just 4 of the last 36 innings pitched.
Yeah, that's a lot of zeros. I think, obviously Hunter did everything right. He came in and threw a first pitch breaking ball, and the guy looked like he was sitting on it a little bit, and it was just up a little, and he did a good job. But I think the big thing for me was after coming in, first pitch homer, and then he strikes out the side. So that tells you a lot right there. But there's some quality going around, and I think on a day like night like tonight, you saw this is a big game. They're all big, and so we were going to attack it in a way where we definitely you want to make sure that you give yourself an opportunity to win weekends by who you use on Tuesdays, but at the same time, we had some guys that were calling for the ball and wanted the ball, and so all the guys that came out, I thought, threw the ball extremely well.
Chase Brunson shown racking up 4 hits over the weekend with an impressive 400 batting average. Meanwhile, Peyton Tolley showcased his consistency on the mound with 7 strikeouts, elevating his season total to 90 and placing him tied for 6th nationally. TCU continues their 4-game home stretch tonight against Kansas State. As the 2 teams square off in a 3-game Big 12 series, Kansas State is holding the 6th spot in the Big 12 with a 9-9 record, while TCU sits at the 11th with an 8-13 record. On Tuesday at Whispering Pines Golf Club in Trinity, Texas, Gustav Fremont dazzled the greens with a remarkable 6 under 66. With every swing and putt, he climbed the leaderboard. He racked up a total of 22 birdies for the championships, being crowned Big 12 co-champion with a final score of 9 under. Fremont became the 3rd Big 12 champion in program history. What do the NCAAs look like for the Frogs? Head coach Bill Alcorn talked about possible representation in the NCAAs.
Traditionally, there's about 60 or so at-large teams that get into the tournament, and then there's automatic qualifiers on top of that. And so for us this year, it hadn't been a super strong year, so we're going to need to go win conference in order for us to make regionals this year. They do take some individuals outside of those schools that miss out, and so Gustav's in a pretty good spot to make it individually, but I can't wait to get out there and compete and try to go earn that final spot to get us into a regional, which would be huge for us and huge for our guys. But that does come at a tall task of go winning a conference championship.
For team and individual selections, the men will find out their fate next Wednesday at 1 p.m. on the Golf Channel. As far as the women, TCU has representation in the NCAA tournament for 20 consecutive seasons and 28 out of 30 seasons under head coach Angie Ravioli-Larkin. Luis Lau and Sofia Barroso-Sa were selected as regional qualifiers for the NCAA Regional Championships, competing May 6th through the 8th in Bryan College Station. TCU women's tennis competed in the Big 12 Championships last weekend in Stillwater. Heading into the conference tournament, the team boasted with their best regular season in the Big 12 era. The Frogs wrapped up their regular season with a 12-8 overall record and a 7-6 conference record, matching their highest numbers of wins ever in the Big 12. Seeded 7th, the Frogs kicked off their tournament against Kansas State last week. They battled hard and believed they had secured the victory with a 4-3 score, setting them up to face the Texas Longhorns in the quarterfinals. After the match had concluded, Kansas State logged a protest against TCU's lineup. The championships game committee had decided to support Kansas State's protests, overturning the match results. As a result, the doubles point was given to Kansas State, leading to a 4-3 win for the Wildcats. After the best Big 12 regular season to date, the tournament loss ended their Big 12 championship run earlier than expected. The Horned Frogs will now wait till Monday at 5:30 Central Time for the selection show to see if they are chosen to participate in the NCAAs or will they defend their NIT National Championship from last year. As for men's tennis, last Friday, the team prepared to face off against 6th-seeded Baylor in the opening round. With a 20-3 overall record and 5-2 in the Big 12, TCU was no stranger to success. They had claimed the Big 12 tournament title the previous year by defeating Texas 4-1 in Larson and looked to do the same after splitting with Texas earlier in the season. TCU continued their winning streak, defeating Baylor and number 9 Oklahoma 4-1. They earned another shot to defend their Big 12 championship match against number 5 Texas.
Well, obviously in playoffs there's much more stakes in the regular season, where training has been a little more intense, trying to prepare for the final in tournament, the last push. So we're just trying our best to make it to the end of the season well and try and win a national championship.
Jake Fernley returned to the court for the first time since mid-March and was selected the Big 12 All-Tournament team alongside Pedro Vivas and Thomas Jurasic.
Yeah, obviously happy that I got the opportunity to play some matches, and yeah, after taking some time off and sitting on the sidelines, it was nice to be competing alongside my team, and yeah, just excited to keep playing and hopefully have a good campaign going into the NCAAs. Obviously we're going one match at a time, just staying present. But I think one thing that we're just looking to do is just play as a team, play together, be as close as we can as a team going into the most important part of the season. And I think we're all a bit tired, we're all a bit beat up, but we've got a week and a half now before our first match where we can really recover and be with each other and support each other, so we can have a great training leading up to the tournament, and then again a great campaign in NCAAs.
Wrapping up the regular season with a 22-4 record, TCU will secure a national seed and hosting rights for the regionals and super regional weekend in the NCAA tournament for the 4th consecutive year. TCU men's tennis breeds consistency.
Yeah, I think other than winning the whole thing, I think this is probably the biggest goal leading into the season, is to be able to host the first 3 rounds of NCAAs if we can get there, finishing top 8. And yeah, just being able to do that again for, I'm not really sure, but for a lot of years now in a row, it's really special, and it's just a testament, like you said, to the hard work that we've put in, the coaches, the players, and everyone who supports TCU men's tennis. So yeah, I think it's great, and just really excited to play again here in front of our home crowd.
Tune in to the NCAA Tournament Selection Show at 5:30 p.m. on Monday to determine the Frogs' opponent. The NCAA Regionals are set to take place in Fort Worth on Friday, May 3rd at 5 p.m. and Saturday, May 4th at 4 p.m. The number 6 ranked TCU beach volleyball team is currently in Sugar Beach, Louisiana, competing in another Conference USA Championships, with their sights set on another NCAA berth in the National Championships in Gulf Shores, Alabama next week. Haley Hamlet and Angelina Camille were the AVCA national champions in the fall. What leads to their consistency, we asked.
I really love this sport, and I think the beach volleyball is like the big part of me, and then this is why I'm here at TCU, and then I'm so passionate about this sport, and then it doesn't matter who I'm playing with. I just really want to enjoy it and play for the team and play for myself.
Working hard is like one of my key components. Like every time that I step in the sand, like even at practice, I want to give 100%. I'm super competitive, so like any drill there's to be won, I want to win it. Every game that there's to be had, I want to win it. So it's like just going in and having that adrenaline, having that competitive spirit, like really, really propels me.
Heading into the tournament as the top seed, they defeated Tarleton State after Tarleton's victory over Jack State, and are playing Tulane as we speak. And if they win, they play again at 2:30 p.m. Stay tuned next week for a recap of their weekend at the CUSA Championships and insight into their preparation for the NCAA Championships, just a few days away. The NCAA Selection Show is Sunday at 11 a.m. Good luck to our Horned Frogs as they chase after their first ever CUSA Championships in their inaugural season. Stay with us and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Squire Shop.
We are locally owned and operated since 1994.
We specialize in the finest men's clothing that the market has to offer at affordable prices with unbelievable service.
We do custom clothing all the way to more casual, Peter Millar, Johnny O, kind of everything. Well, my dad's the owner, so I've been around retail my whole life. Oh, it's great. I mean, it's the best boss I'll ever have. I know that.
We love our TCU community. They have been so good to us. Come see us today. Go Frogs!
Welcome back, Frog Nation, from the Flying T Club studio here at Roxo Media House. I'm your host, Knisha Godfrey. TCU men's basketball has been making waves recently with several new incoming transfers from next season. Capitalizing on the hot transfer portal, last Wednesday, TCU welcomed former Arizona State guard Frankie Collins to Fort Worth. The California native joins the Frogs after 2 seasons at Arizona State, where he averaged 13.8 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 3.6 assists last season. Again on Monday, 6'3" guard Noah Reynolds was added as well. Reynolds comes to TCU after a standout season at Green Bay, where he averaged 20 points, 3.7 rebounds, and 4.8 assists. On Tuesday, TCU secured its 3rd transfer of the spring with the addition of Brendan Winsdale from San Antonio. Winsdale spent the last 3 seasons at Wyoming, averaging 11.6 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 1.5 assists last season. But the excitement doesn't stop there. Let's not overlook our team. We are also making headlines, building a talented squad with new USC transfer Taylor Bigby, the 29th overall recruit in 2021. The 6'1" guard from Las Vegas was Nevada Gatorade Player of the Year in 2021 as well, averaging 4.8 points, 1.5 rebounds, and 1.1 assists at the Trojans last season. And welcome to our family, Maddie Shear from Kentucky. Shear spent 2 seasons at Oregon before joining the Wildcats last season. Shear is a dependable scorer who averaged 11.6 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 4.3 assists. In case you live under a rock, the NCAA has officially approved Sedona Prince's medical hardship waiver, allowing her to play next year.
I mean, coming to TCU in the first place was a dream come true. I love it here. It was one of the only schools that I wanted to go to in high school, and I just knew it was a feeling coming back home, being only 2 hours away from my hometown and my parents, but I just knew I had that feeling of this is my path, this is where I need to be, and to play for Mark for an amazing year of college, a healthy year, was a dream come true, and there's no chance that I wouldn't play at TCU. I mean, I want to be known as this fun-loving, tall giant that came here broken and beaten up and was healed by this place, and truly was taken in by everyone with so much love and warmth. And because of that, I was able to go out into the world and make a difference and make a change, and be that TCU player that, come back and hold my head high knowing this was a university that built me up in order to go out into the world and do the things that I never thought I could do.
Donna isn't the only familiar face returning for us next season. Madison Connor, Agnes Anopu, Knisha Godfrey, that's me, Una Yuvankovic, Aaliyah Roberson, and my co-host, Daija Turner, all adding to what could have been an even more dynamic season for us next year. Another note, Big B is reuniting with our head coach, Mark Campbell, and his staff at TCU from when he was with the Ducks, her first couple of years. Stay tuned as we plan to announce more signees in the incoming weeks. The #1 ranked TCU equestrian team geared up for their 15th consecutive appearance at the NCEA National Championship, which took place from last weekend at the World Equestrian Center in Florida. With an outstanding season under their belts, the 12-2 Horned Frogs had a flawless conference record of 6-0. Their 875% winning percentage is the highest among all Big 12 schools last season. It was the #1 Frogs against the #2 SMU Mustangs in the national championship, where TCU finished as the runner-up, ending with a score of 12-7. Jessica McAllister Stone brightly earning the tournament's most outstanding performer in the horsemanship and a spot at the NCAA All-Championship Horseman team. Additionally, Sammy Baru and Laura Smith were named the Flat All-Championship team, and Jordan Salsa earned a spot on the Fences Championship. Great job this season, ladies. We can't wait to see what next season brings. Lots to get with track and field. The Frogs kicked off the Michael Johnson Invitation in Waco last Friday with an impressive first day, which led by Benjamin Carbo's record-breaking pole vault. Carbo soared to the winning height of 5.40 meters, setting a high new record outdoor, ranking him number 12. Nationally, this season, Ayana Gray dashed her way to the victory in the women's 200 meter, clocking in at 23:11, while Tiana Harlan's clocked in at 23:75, which secured her a spot in the top 10. The Morris twins dominated the 1500 meter events. Grace Morris claimed first place with a time of 4:18, and brother Graydon took the men's title with 3:49, closely followed by Ryan Martin at 30:50. London Kobrev continued her winning streak in the women's 5,000 meters, securing her back-to-back championship with a time of 16:56. Payne McEwen and Marina Martinez followed closely, finishing second and third, respectively. In the men's 200 meter, Cache Crockett spent a third-place finish with a time of 20:91. Meanwhile, Amelia Burdo showcased her talent in the women's 400 meter hurdles, finishing fifth with a collegiate best of 58:30, making her the top collegiate finisher in the event. On Saturday, TCU wrapped up the weekend with a bang, securing 4 event victories. Freshman Iran Jenkinboy started the day strong for the Horned Frogs, winning the women's javelin with a throw of 51.49 meters. Impressively, she surpassed the 50-meter mark in nearly every meet this season. The men's 4x1 team set a season best time of 40:29, claiming the first place. On the women's side, the 4x1 team took second with a time of 44:44. TCU also dominated the 800 meter races. Jasmine Muhammad Graham won the women's event with a time of 2 minutes and 8 seconds, while Lloyd Freelot led the men with a time of 1 minute and 52 seconds. Giovanni Henry followed closely behind Freelot, securing second place with 1 minute and 52 seconds. Samara Monroe led the Frogs in a 400 meter, finishing third overall and first among collegiate athletes. Stone Burke also earned a bronze medal. The Frogs will next head to Philadelphia to compete in the Penn Relays, and head coach Kadivis Robinson continues to put his team against the best in the world.
Yeah, that Penn Relays is more of it's a meet that we went to when I was here. I was talking to Greg Scholars, who was here before I was, and John Drummond and all those guys who are alum here. For us, we took Penn Relays serious. I mean, Penn Relays, Texas Relays, we took that serious. We really wanted to win it. It meant a lot to us. And it's the same thing. As a coach, I feel the same way. So for me, it's like Penn Relays is not somewhere you just go to have a good time and party. Yeah, you can go there and have a good time and win a medal and get first and get that big wheel. That's the party right there. It's called the Penn Relays Carnival, right? Because it's like a carnival. And hopefully we can go out there and get us another one of those wheels. We won the 4x4 last year on the men's side. And actually, Ayana won the 100 meters too. So we had a good showing last year. So we want to have that same type of showing this year.
Keep it up, Frogs. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Energy does everything for us. It's all-encompassing.
We're all benefiting and affected from it.
And it is something that we all need to know about.
It is the glue that holds everything together.
TCU is powering what matters, our future.
We don't just talk about what's needed, we focus on results.
The Ralph Lowe Energy Institute is creating a world where energy is affordable, sustainable, and reliable.
The fun doesn't stop there with TCU Athletics. The TCU football team is wrapping up their spring season tomorrow, April 27th, with a 2 p.m. scrimmage as part of the Frogapalooza. The spring has looked a bit different this year as the Frogs have been hard at work since the end of the season last year.
I mean, last year it just hurts because I know we had so much talent, but there's a lot of individual stuff. You know, the leaders, people that were put in the leadership positions were kind of, I think, had selfish motivations, even if they won't admit it. And this year, I don't know who those guys are going to be this year, but the guys who have come in, they're just blue collar, hard hat, lunch pail kind of guys who just want to, make a name for themselves, but win more than anything. So they definitely brought in the right kind of group of guys that are going to help us succeed and succeeded here in the past.
The stage is set for day 15 of spring practices in the Carter. Admission to the scrimmage is free for fans, and gates will open at 1 p.m. Before the scrimmage kicks off, fans can enjoy live music from the Texases. For family-friendly entertainment, the concourse will host face painting, balloon artists, wax hand making, and more. If you're a student, you are in for a special treat with complimentary tank tops, free Kahuna ice, and more. And more fun doesn't stop there. Be sure to stick around after to watch baseball take on Kansas State, the second game of the 3-game series, with the first pitch at 4 p.m. at Lupton.
The NFL draft started yesterday, continuing throughout the week, and our Frogs are waiting patiently to see where they land. We visited our Horned Frog NFL prospects at the Big 12 Pro Day last month, and they told us what they would bring to an NFL team if they were selected.
I really feel like that I'm one of the most versatile tight ends in this draft class. That's my personal opinion about myself. I feel like I could play whatever they asked me to play. They asked me to go freaking play outside receiver. I'm going to go do it.
You got it.
Yeah. So I'm really comfortable with how I play my game, and I know what I do really well, and I know what I don't do really well. So this next month we'll be working on the things that I don't feel like I excel at as much as I need to, and just keep sharpening my edge on my sword.
Number one, you're going to get a smart guy who wants to win, who's going to do everything right. That's how I'm wired, and that's how I do things. I'm going to show up on time. I'm going to be where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there. But in the next sense, you're going to get a great offensive lineman who's very smart, and his will to win is unmatched. I think I do a lot of different things in order to find a way to win as an offensive lineman. I use different hands and feet and sets and try to change my angles up. And I think that not a lot of guys do that at our age, just because they kind of wait to mature a little bit in the NFL. But I don't rely on my athleticism only, because, I'm not the best athlete out there, but, I'm good enough to play with the best of the best. So, I just got to do what I can to find a way to win.
Yeah, you're going to get a guy who's going to leave it all out there. I'm going to come in and wherever he needs me at, if it's on practice squad, if it's on right tackle, left tackle, whatever position he needs me at. If I need to play some tight end, come in, I can do it all. So I'm there for wherever he needs me to. I'm going to give him everything I can, be in the film room, training room, weight room, wherever I need to be to grow every day. So just a hard worker.
My will to never give up, and my will to always give you my hard work. I will keep fighting to the end, and I want to let that be known in every play that I do.
I'm a blue-collar guy who comes into work every single day. I feel like every school and every coach that you ask about me will tell you the same thing. Tenacious, gritty, tough, strained every single day, and that's kind of what I just wanted to come out here and show.
It's been a slam dunk hosting this week's episode of Frogs Today. A big thanks to the team behind the scenes here at Roxo Media House. For everyone watching, I'm Knisha Godfrey.
And I'm Daija Turner. Thanks for watching, and we better see you at the Showmire next season. We promise we won't disappoint.
Please like and subscribe to Frogs Today for a unique Horned Frog sports coverage from all of our student athletes and coaches. Until next week, go Frogs.
Roxo Media House.